How goes it, folks? Jolly Yellow talking to you. That's just a picture of me holding up a picture of Isaac's Foundation trilogy. Been reading on that for a good little while, but the reason I am here today is to show off a book haul that I got from this large used book sale a couple of weekends ago. So let's get into it. So Mrs. Jolly Yellow and I, we were only able to go on the final day of the sale, and they had a special deal going on with all the inventory that was left over. So you could either purchase a bag like the one that we have here, or you could bring in your own bag of similar size. And from there, $5, whatever you can fit in the bag is yours. So we did quite the haul. Also, before I get into the books, they also had like a small collection of DVDs there. I grabbed a copy of Hero, one of my favorite martial arts movies of all time, but on to the books. So first we have Love in the Age of Mechanical Reproduction, in which in the near future, a man falls in love with an android and his android lover is kidnapped. He has to go rescue her. Next we have Space, a novel by James Michener, in which we get a fictional version of how the space program went down in American history. We have the novel Domino Falls, in which there is a outbreak of some source, and all people really understand is if you're bitten, you go to sleep, you wake up, and you are no longer human. Here we have The Completionist, in which a man returning home from war has to find his vanished sister in a world where fertility has become a major problem. Noise is set in a world where the switch from analog television to digital television has been recent, and now all of a sudden there's signals coming through on those old unused analog channels warning of political upheaval and economic collapse. Okay, so I picked up this book on Chinese self-massage therapy because your boy is stressed out and your boy needs to learn how to relax. So, man, why not pick a book up that might teach me a thing or two? Speaking of teaching a thing or two, I've been a person who's paid attention to gender conversations for a very long time, even though I don't talk about it on this channel too often or almost never. But this one just caught my attention because I want to know how exactly it lays out this crisis in masculinity. If you've seen a whole lot of my content, you know that lighting is one of my weak points. So I decided, here's an opportunity to pick up a book and try to learn a thing or two. So while I know if there's any specific product recommendations, those are going to be long outdated. But as far as techniques, tips, how to point light, how to direct light, those things are probably still going to be valid to this day, no matter how old the book is. So in case you didn't know, I do have desires to write fictional material. I just haven't been able to indulge it like I should. And I saw this book here called What If, where apparently it's just a book of story writing prompts to kind of riff off of and then do something with. So there might be something useful in here to finally kickstart my motivation to get some writing done. So this here, Wisdom of Our Fathers by Tim Russett. This is actually a book I picked up because, I have been a father for quite a while, but I'll admit there's still feelings of not being good enough or not doing it right. So who knows, there might be some advice in here that can really hit my heart and put me on a good path to being a better dad. So true confession, I've never actually read any of the Ian Fleming James Bond novels. Saw this here at the used sale, so figured why not finally pick one up and actually read a James Bond novel. And finally, the big treasure of this haul, the New York Times Guide to the Best 1,000 Films Ever Made. Now for context, this was printed in 2004, so it's already 20 years old and has missed out on 20 years of great high-level cinema. But I do think this would be a good tool to look back on past films and maybe even pick up on some that I managed to miss. So I'm going to have a lot of fun going through this one, and this is probably going to be the most interesting book in the entire haul. Okay, so that is the haul and everything that was in it. I've already added them all to the bookcase, and now it's time for me to make time to actually read them. You folks have a good day. Jolly Yellow out.